Hello, and how are you doing today? I hope all is well. So we all know that I have switched to rice tumbling my brass after years of wet tumbling with steel pins and cleaning solution. I have a few videos on this rice tumbling method. Now, after proven time and testing, I am going to give you my opinion and findings on this process. Stay tuned for all results. If you found this video helpful for you, please click the like button below and subscribe with notifications of all new episodes. There's also a membership, merch, download files, or donations to help me help you. Just click the memberships/buy link below the video. This really helps the channel a lot. Alright, let's see what I found out. Okay, hello everyone. So, this is not going to be rocket science or anything. This is just my findings on wet tumbling versus tumbling with rice. Now, I've been doing wet tumbling for years and I love it. But there are some things now. I made notes and I'm going to put these on a slide in here too. So let's start with wet tumbling. Now, for what I'm doing, wet tumbling cleans too good because what it does is it cleans all the carbon out of the necks, which forces you where you have to lube your necks before sizing. That's one. Two, wet tumbling is too abrasive with those steel pins, for me anyways, because it dings up the neck. On the edge of the neck, it dings it up just a little bit. And depending on how good your brass is, if it doesn't grow that much, when you go to trim, it may not trim off all them little dings. That's number two. Number three, there are just too many steps with wet tumbling. I mean, you gotta fill the tumbler with water. Of course, the other way you gotta fill it with rice. Sure, you're not gonna get out of that. You gotta add solution into your water. It's basically the same amount of time. I tumble an hour in wet tumbling or an hour in rice tumbling. But then when it's done, you gotta dump the water out and rinse. Dump and rinse, dump and rinse. At least 3 times. Okay, and you gotta catch all your pins too with the net. If I have videos on wet tumbling and on rice tumbling, so I would appreciate it if you watch them all first, and this will make better sense to you. Then after that, you gotta check your cases for pins. I have never had to do that with rice. It separated some, they all drop out. Then, when you're done with that, then you gotta put them in a case dryer. I got that Lyman case dryer, and that's about an hour and a half to dry them. The total process, wet tumbling, takes about 2.5 to 3 hours. Which, you know, I made way for it before, but I'm so happy it doesn't take that long. And the one thing to point out is your brass may be nice and shiny, squeaky, clean, but this has no effect on accuracy or point of impact. Your gun does not care how shiny, clean your brass is, as long as it's clean. Now let's get to rice tumbling. You still have to load the tumbler with rice in your cases. Yes, you're not going to get away with that no matter what. It's non-abrasive as opposed to steel pins. Rice does not nick up the edge of your necks at all. okay? Now, wet tumbling may do a better job of cleaning out your primer pockets, but they're still never clean enough anyway, so you're still gonna have to clean your primer pockets. Let's see, I might have chipped the head there. So yeah, so you got your non-abrasive. It doesn't do anything to the edge of your neck. When tumbling is done, you go right to media separating. There's no rinsing, checking for pins, dumping in and out at least 3 times. And you're done. That's it. No drying, no waiting. You can go right into the reloading process. You'll still have to clean the primer pockets, which you would do with wet tumbling also. I find that the rice tumbling process is much better and much faster and less steps all the way around. And while I'm doing my rice tumbling, which takes about an hour and a quarter total, and while that thing's tumbling, I clean my gun, and it's about the same amount of time. So when I'm done cleaning my gun, the rice tumbler is done, I separate my brass, boom, I'm on to my reloading steps. So that's my honest opinion. I really have to tell you that I love rice tumbling. I wish I would have tried this years ago. Now, I use the same tumbler, the Frankfurt Arsenal wet tumbler, that I used for steel pins. So, I don't know how long you have to do it with one of those, not a tumbler, but a shaker thing for dry media, that you put dry media. That may take longer, I don't know. But still, I would think it would only take about an hour or so doing that, because we're not worried about getting squeaky clean, and we want to leave some of that carbon in the necks so we don't have to lube our case for sizing. So all in all, I'll never go back to wet tumbling. Why would I? Rice pudding? Not rice pudding. Rice tumbling is the final answer for me. I hope you got something out of this, and if you have a tumbler, get yourself a bag of rice. It's not going to cost you that much to try it, and see how you like it. And that's it. Thank you for joining me.